Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frag,
We got Gill here coming to you from his living room.
and this is the Frag and Gill podcast and radio show. We are coming to you live right now. What is it? February 3rd, noon on the dot ish.
Yes, sir. Close enough.
Yeah, close enough, close enough. Gill and I have both been in the government and have had government jobs. So, what was the old phrase, Gil?
Which one?
The good enough.
Oh, yeah, good enough for government work.
Good enough for government work. Speaking of work, Gil, tell our audience about what you do.
Welder, build asphalt tanks, just asphalt storage stuff, piping, portable units, all sorts of fun stuff.
hmm Um, so when it comes to welding and stuff, what made you decide that you wanted to be a welder?
Well, you can get decent money. You ain't got to go spend however much money it is for a college degree these days. Went 9 months for a welding school, learned a little bit of pipe fitting while I was there.
hmm
Here we are today.
So, you know, did you have this planned when you like graduated high school, for example?
Not really. Just said, got out of high school, went to the Marine Corps, and sort of getting out of the Marine Corps, figure out a plan. Here we are today.
What was your experience like in the Marine Corps?
That depends on the day.
What do you mean? Give us some more
So,
details.
it's a love hate relationship. You get your 15 minutes of fun, but it
hmm
sucks most of the time. But you do make good friends, so.
Yeah, true. True.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely say that the best friends I've ever made in my life came out of the Marine Corps.
Yep. Because here we are today doing this podcast.
Here we are. Um,
Yep.
some of today's big topics, in the world. Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is stepping down as CEO. He's not leaving the company. He is going to become the executive or chairman here in the third quarter,
Uh
and and this is after a fourth quarter earnings report that was through the
huh.
roof.
It's through the roof.
hmm Exceeded expectations. What is your take on his decision? Why do you think he decided to step down?
He wants to go spend more time on his Blue Origins with the space travel, get a little LMS, some competition, send old Ellen back to his back cave, get his gears turning some more,
Mm,
try to stay ahead with it.
yeah. So what do you know? Well, you said it's called Blue Orbit,
Blue Origin.
Blue Origin. What do you
Mm-hmm.
know about the company?
Not much really. I ain't had time to sit down and look into it. I know we're into like space, getting into like the space and stuff,
hmm
where they want to like send people to the moon, Mars, that whole thing.
I do think it's very interesting, looking at history itself because back in the 60s, like the space race was a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have a modern day space race.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Between private companies, and it's not even NASA and other countries. There's
hmm
what I know. What you got: Blue Origin, SpaceX, is it Virgin Galactic? They're wanting to do space tourism
hmm
and whatnot. But that'd be a hefty price tag right there.
Yeah. It's excuse excuse me. It was funny you say SpaceX because I watched an interview yesterday with Elon Musk, and what
Mm-hmm.
he partnered with another entrepreneur, billionaire, young billionaire that actually dropped out of fucking high school to
Mm-hmm.
pursue his company, which is crazy within itself.
Yeah, like, you hear about that every now and then. I think Bill Gates is another one that did that, or he dropped out of what college? Is that right?
College.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're talking within 3 years having civilians in space,
Mm-hmm.
um, and within 5 years having them on the way to Mars.
Uh huh.
Uh, when I was watching the interview, he looked real. Elon Musk. He looked
Mm-hmm.
real uncomfortable, and I honestly think that he was basically saying like, if you go on one of these, explorations,
Mm-hmm.
like you got like a 50-50 chance of becoming nothing
Yeah,
but.
I mean, they got that high safety factor too. Like you see how much testing they do before they even send like just a little basic rocket up.
Mhm.
Then you see where they got some cool stuff, or you send them where they come in and land them rockets back down, like
Mhm.
the side boosters. They got those where they got. I think there's one. They got like barges that sit out in the ocean. They'll take them side boosters and they'll land them things back down on them barges. That way they can reuse them booster rockets, just refuel the thing if it needs
Really?
some maintenance done. And they'll strap that sucker back onto the next one. Repeat process.
Huh. Do you know what they're using for fuel at all?
I couldn't tell you.
Mm-mm. Do you think it's petroleum based though?
Yeah, it's probably like oxygen, petroleum based. I don't know.
Mm, yeah. I think it's crazy to think that, I mean, I'm 24, you're 24, you got a birthday coming up next month.
Yeah,
Um, it's crazy to think that within our lifetime, we may have the
we're
opportunity to like go to the moon.
yeah, it'd be pretty sweet.
During the Super Bowl this weekend, they're going
Oh,
to.
that's this weekend.
That is this weekend.
That shows how much I know.
Yeah, no kidding. I
I'll
appreciate.
keep up with that mess.
It's all right. Yeah, but during the Super Bowl, they're going to be having commercials for SpaceX, and pretty
Mm-hmm.
much you donate $5 and you get put on a list, and if your name gets drawn from the list, then you prospectively have the chance to being on that civilian manned mission to the moon.
Huh. Shit, let me get the checkbook out real quick.
Yeah, right. You ain't lying.
Yeah, I probably had better luck than playing the lottery.
I mean, yeah, no kid. You remember the Powerball? The Powerball was real high. What about
Yeah, I
2 years
think
ago?
yeah, it's pushing a billion. It's like somebody in Michigan won that thing.
Bro, could you imagine winning that?
Yeah, even after all the taxes and crap that get on it, you still got 500 fucking million.
Yeah. I wonder.
Pardon my French, people.
Oh, it's all right. This is going on YouTube, and then.
YouTube's gonna be like demonetized.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. Maybe we should watch our French,
Yeah.
but I guess this is the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, do you know why they demonetize for profanity?
Who knows? It's YouTube.
No.
I won't get on to it into it here.
I started a new book today. It's called Crushing It by, I guess they call him Gary V, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like Ben Benetchik, and it's about entrepreneurial stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
he said that I think it was 60% of all media like watched is on YouTube.
Huh.
And
Yeah, I'd pull up what my next one on the list is, but I'm kind of worried we'd end up having technical difficulties again.
what do you mean?
I have no idea. It's just more luck.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
The
No
way
kidding.
we're going.
Well, I mean, you do live up in the Boondock Mountains, you know.
That's true. Hey, not all the way in the boondocks, so close though.
Bro, you're you're a hop, skip, and a jump from the Deliverance, man.
Ain't that the truth?
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, it's been a while.
That movie is something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like squeal. Ugh. Ugh. You know, I think like if that movie came out nowadays, it
Mm-hmm.
would it would not have been it would not be received well,
No.
just because of like all the You know, like I guess like the whole Me Too movement and whatever.
Oh yeah, everybody will be offended. Yada
Hmm.
yada yada.
And don't get me wrong, I definitely understand and appreciate that movement because my mother always taught me treat every woman with the utmost respect of a gentleman,
Mm-hmm.
and I would never, and I could never fathom what it would be like to go through something like that, to be taken against your will.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely empathize with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yet nowadays in media, it's so hard for
Now it gets so pushed and pushed and pushed. It's like, can you people mind your own business? Like,
you
it
know.
gets to a point where it's ridiculous.
Hmm. So I mean, I think that I definitely think that opinions have become more, you know, validated.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Everybody thinks their opinion's fact, and they want to push it on you. Yada yada yada.
mm-hmm. You and I both know opinions, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucking
At some point, it's just mind your business.
yeah. What do you what are you looking at for stocks here in the next few weeks?
Well, we'll see, we'll have to see what the stock market does. I seen it was creeping back up today, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll pull us up a little gander here.
Because what was the last investment you made?
Well, we just ordered some silver not too long ago
Yeah.
and did a little bit of dividend reinvestment on some AT&T.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Right now, just kind of waiting and watching the market see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Since everything seems like it's valued so high, getting into the bubble range, so
Yeah,
wait and
true.
see what it does.
Um, so how much silver did you end up getting?
Oh, about 6 ounces.
6 ounces. Do you remember how much you paid for them?
You talking spot price or coin price?
Just all around, like how much was your investment?
It was just over $200 altogether.
Just over 200.
So,
So roughly, well, and that's with shipping and handling.
oh yeah, shipping and well, I think the shipping and handling is free. Yeah, they got to get their taxes.
Yeah.
Can't dodge that bullet.
Um, but so you got about, let's do the math. So you said 200,
Mm-hmm. Do about 220.
220 divided by 6. So you got it for about 36 bucks an ounce.
Yeah, shipping, handling, taxes, all
Hmm.
yada yada yada.
You got, well, we bought it, you bought it when it was at about 30 an ounce.
Yeah, I think it was just under 30. It was like high 28, something
Yeah,
like that.
28. And then the premiums were about, yeah, I think it was high 28s and the premiums were about
Mm,
$3,
yeah.
$3 or $4. And, but you got a vast, portfolio. Well, what word am I looking for? A vast, array.
A variety of different
Hmm.
little coins.
What coins did you get?
Let me see. We got two silver eagles, the
Mm.
Australian kangaroo, the Barbados, and the I ain't even gonna be able to pronounce this word. The coat. There's one more. Let me find it.
Did you grab one of the Armenian Noah's Arks?
No, not yet.
Hmm. Well, as you look, I bought 6 Armenian Noah's Arks. I
Mm-hmm.
bought and then I bought an ounce of platinum, an American platinum
Mm-hmm.
eagle, and I paid about 12.10 for that. Um, and that boosts my portfolio
Mm-hmm.
up to roughly. So I have One.
Okay, I lied. I did get the Noah's Ark.
Mm,
We got the Barbados silver trident coin, the Australian silver kangaroo,
okay.
the South African silver Krugerrand coin,
Hmm.
and the two silver eagles.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If you don't
Hmm.
if you don't know, the American Silver Eagle is world renowned.
Yeah,
It's the most popular.
everybody wants that thing.
Because right now, what is what is the price of those right now?
Let's see, I have to pull it up on and look.
Because shit, I looked and seen. So I got silvers at $27.13. U.S. Mint Silver Eagles right now as it loads. Um, last time I checked,
Yeah,
go ahead.
so on JM Bullion, they got 2020 American Silver Eagle sitting at 37.99.
That's that's $10 over spot price.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, you said 37.99.
Yep.
Oh, so that's more. That's closer to 11.
Yeah, it's pushing 11.
I mean, it's getting better, but I mean, hey, like,
We'll have to wait and see.
yeah, I think that. Well, most people don't know the silver market's been cornered before.
Oh yeah,
Back in the
it happens. It happens time and time again.
back in the 70s, there were a group of brothers from Texas, and what they decided to do is they decided to basically corner the silver market, and they bought
Hmm.
1/3 of the world's silver.
That was the Hunt brothers, wasn't it?
Hunt brothers, yes, yep,
Yeah.
and that's I mean that's crazy, dude. Can you imagine? Imagine how much that was worth.
Yeah. Especially if they're still hanging on to that today, or a good portion of that.
hmm Well, it's crazy to think because the stock price went up, it shot up to 50,
Hmm.
and then immediately just fell and plummeted, and then
Hmm.
stayed down. And I guess that's kind of what whoever owns all the silver
Hmm.
wanted to avoid. So for my silver portfolio, I got it up. I'm looking at 24 ounces of silver. I have I have one 10-ounce silver bar. I have, and then the rest is in a wide variety of coins. I
Hmm.
mostly American Silver Eagles. I have I actually have two silver bars. Um, excuse me, generic silver bars, and then I have 1 ounce silver bars, and then I have some Canadian maple leafs,
Hmm.
and I think that oh, and then now the Armenian Noah's Ark, which I really like those. I thought that was
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one just to look at. Nevertheless, sit and collect.
yeah, and throughout my whole life, I remember being 10, 15, between like 10 and 15. My grandmother Josephine would buy me or would go to the bank and get rolls of quarters for me
Hmm.
when I was filling up that map that I had.
Uh-huh.
And dude, I tell you what, it was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, trying to find all them quarters in them
Yep.
rolls. Yeah, he
And
had them quarters scattered
oh,
everywhere.
everywhere, dude.
A mess.
I didn't care if I didn't want to spend none of them. All I wanted to do was find the states.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I think it was Wyoming. Wyoming was the
Hmm.
last one that I found. Um, and I remember, and you can tell like the time frame because it probably took me like a year to finish that,
Hmm.
and you could tell like where I was in the maturity, because at the beginning I was so excited that I would push him in real hard, and like you could see like actually I'm just gonna go get it.
Yeah, I say I'm surprised you ain't got it sitting on your shelf back
Yeah,
there.
hold on.
All right, I didn't take long.
So here it is. We have the 50 collector's album of 25-cent coins minted 1999, honoring the 50 states. As you can see right here, I was very excited about this one. But let's just see what state it is. Nevada. So as you can see, I have all 50 states. They are definitely from circulation. Definitely. These are not pretty coins. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Um like I said, Wyoming was my last one. But you could see how as I found them, I would push them in really hard because I would just be too excited.
It's like my dad used to always say, bull in a china shop.
Oh my gosh. I could have said better myself. And, you know, I've had this. I've taken this to different countries with me.
Yeah, didn't you bring that to Japan with you when we were staying over there on a little booze cruise?
I did take it. And I tell you what, I will keep this to the day I die.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is just something that means the world to me. It's something that I finished, you know? there are so few things in life that you are like really able to finish. And if you really have something to show for it for like the rest of your life, I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of it. You're going to put it up on a shelf and look at it forever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think that I think that's kind of a problem with our generation, is that we get so like when it comes to our consumption and like our money consumption, that we decide to basically buy things, like spend our currency on all these different things, but we never have anything to show for it.
Yeah. Go buy $8 Starbucks here, go out to lunch here, do this, do that. And you done spent $40 on the day just on dumb crap.
Yeah, right.
And what in reality you could just, all right, that's $40. You got 7 days a week and got $280 right there. You could have done, put it in the stock market, buy silver, found other ways to make it work for you.
Right. You know, I definitely think that, you know, as a young adult, being in college, basically, like I see all these young people, and I ask them, I said, why are you here? Like, why are you going to college here right now? Because I'm 24 years old, but I'm the equivalent of a college sophomore. So all my peers are 19 years old.
Oh yeah.
And I'm asking them, I said, why are you here? Like, why are you going to this school? And they're like, oh, well, my parents wanted me to go here. And da, 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 da. I said, are your parents going to pay your student loan?
No.
And they're like, oh, no. I was like, what you're doing at this university where you're paying $17,000 a semester for, you can go do at the community college, literally right up the street.
Right down the street.
Right up the street, the same exact classes, and for a fraction of the price.
Oh yeah. All right, I've been paused. I'm gonna go get me a little drinky drink.
Go ahead and go get your drinky drink.
Oh, we still talking about
it. And you know, I think that it is time for, you know, our generation and to inform the generation that's coming. If you have a little brother, if you have a little sister, whatever, cousin, niece, nephew, you tell them, do not go to these universities at like right out of high school. It is
No,
a scam. It is
you gotta think too, there's always those people, they don't, they get forced into it, because that's what their parents want them to do.
yeah.
They don't wanna do it, like, go, you got trade schools, trades always need more people.
Mhm.
That older generation, they're retiring off, somebody's gotta replace them eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Um I definitely don't think that I don't think we're as informed as we should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think we worship the PhD too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody on earth wants a PhD for some reason.
Now, like, what good does that do? It's like my cousin got his PhD in history, and what's he doing? Working at Target. Like, what have you accomplished with that?
Right. I mean, you may have been able to live in the moment while you were getting it,
Yeah,
but when it comes to, using it,
the rest of your life.
and
But
and that's a $500,000, man.
easily 500,000.
Depending on where you went,
Uh,
500,000. Imagine I can't fathom owing $500,000.
mm-hmm.
Like imagine being in a 500,000 foot hole in the ground.
Yeah, you ain't getting out of that very easy or quick. It's gonna take you years and years
Years.
and years. And at this point, you don't want to pay that thing off, and when you're ready to retire, now you ain't got no money for retirement, and you're stuck working till you're dead.
Yeah. It's funny, Robert Kiyosaki, um, author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
If y'all ain't read that book, read that book.
Very good book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he said PhD stands for poor, hungry, and desperate.
Yep,
Because at the end of the day, that's what you're
that's
gonna
what
be.
you gonna be.
That's what you're gonna be. And don't get me wrong, if that's what you want, you know, if you believe that your best option in life is to fucking go to school for 12 years, 24 years of your life is spent in an educational institution, and you want to get a PhD, and you want to do whatever your PhD says
Mm-hmm.
you can do, more power to you.
More power to it. Just do it something useful.
To each their own,
Yeah,
Gill. To each
yeah,
their
true,
own,
true,
though.
true. I
Because,
give it to them.
because I mean,
If you want a PhD in underwater basket weaving, have at it.
because at the end of the day, though, I'm gonna go have to buy a basket to put all my clothes in, my underwear in.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you wove it underwater doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh, yeah, nope.
I mean, the Chinese, they're weaving baskets for 10 cents an hour.
Uh-huh.
I just finished it what was it called? It was, God, it was such a good book. It's The Death of Money, the coming collapse of the international monetary system. Top 3 best books I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, that's on my next to read list right there.
Oh my God, it's so good. It goes so in depth, in detail, with every economy on Earth, how it's going to work when the U.S. dollar, takes a shit. It's just, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. And what the Chinese are doing? Did you know that the Chinese are building fake cities just to keep manufacturing up to give those people jobs?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm. Like they're building they're building rail lines, but they don't have any trains. It costs a $30 to travel across China, and China's bigger than the United States if I'm not mistaken.
Hell yeah, I think it's like huge.
And so you're telling me that I can pay $30 to get from Tibet to Shanghai, 2,000 miles, and if I were to do that in the United States, I'd be looking at 250. I'd be better off buying a plane ticket, you know?
Hmm.
I mean, hey, like what the Chinese are doing right now is I think that well, most economists know that they're about 100 years behind the United States.
Yeah, they're trying to play catch up right now.
But
Guess you could call it the Chinese Industrial Revolution or modernization, something like that.
yeah, I would agree with the modernization because they're right there, but they're communist. So
Hmm.
with communism comes corruption,
Hmm.
you know, and
And it's
then
be setback after setback that way. They won't.
but I mean they are making leaps and bounds.
Yeah, they are.
Did you see that the company, the Chinese equivalent to Tesla, sold 10 times what they estimated in the fourth quarter?
No, I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, Neo. It's called Neo.
Oh yeah, Neo. Yeah.
hmm Uh, if you don't mind, can you look up what their stock is right now? Uh, yeah, Neo is definitely one to look at. Me personally, I haven't really dabbled too much in that sector
Yeah, I
because
haven't really messed with anything in the Chinese sector, if all the past trade wars and whatnot, yada yada yada.
and not to mention um, there's tariffs. There's tariffs
Hmm.
on Chinese products.
Yep.
So until those are lifted, I mean, you're not really making any money on
Mm. So Neo is sitting at $58.65 at the moment.
yeah. Where
So
where were they in March? So if you're
March.
not if you guys aren't aware, March was pretty much the nosedive of the economy and the stock market.
Hmm.
So what you're looking at March, when you look at March, about March 20th to 23rd ish, depending on the company, you're looking at the lowest they had been in probably 10 years, the lowest of the low. So
Man,
that's
we should have been talking about this last year.
why you say
Uh,
that.
on March 20th, 2020, Neo was at $2.40
So what is that?
to 58 up to almost $59. That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, $4 is 100% return. So
Hmm.
if you compound that on top of it,
Yeah,
there who like what a 5,000% increase, 3,000% increase,
something like that.
something like that. I mean, but look at Tesla. They're Tesla's number one competition.
Hmm. In China, just like Alibaba's, Amazon's in China.
What do you know about them?
Let's see. From what I've gathered, it's pretty much Amazon in China.
Hmm
And I guess for Jack Hua, or I'm not sure how to say his name, but I guess he made some comments about the Chinese government, and he's been nowhere to found since then.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think he's hiding
So
himself, or do you think he got scooped
well,
up?
he probably got scooped up if it's
Mm,
Chinese.
yeah, true. That's I. What do you predict that the Chinese government's going to be doing anything like that?
What, scooping people up?
No, like falling.
Who knows?
You know, because
Mm-hmm.
you see that they're having more of a capitalistic society,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Under a communist government.
right. But I don't think it's capitalism at all. I think
Uh,
I think it's more of you have these. pretty much Chinese business warlords that are taking a fat cut right off the top of all the revenue, and their employees don't make nothing,
No.
you know. And it's just,
And every dude's probably up in the government doing, hey, do this, do that, and whatnot.
cashing in too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious on how that's going to affect the the economy here, coming up within the next 5 years. Because at the end of the day, that's how we invest. We don't invest for today. We don't even invest for tomorrow. We invest for 5 years from now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, I think that when it comes to travel, I think travel's going to get better. I'm a personal advocate of Boeing. I think Boeing is at the lowest of the lows right now because they just keep shot after shot after shot after shot. And the way that the U.S.
Yeah, they've been getting hammered the last year or two, so they'll probably start picking up here soon.
And if you think about it, 90% of all trades are done from computers that read headlines. So if it's not an individual doing their research, then
it's always all the big index funds, ETFs, and all the people managing them making the big moves.
And honestly, Boeing yesterday was at 195 roughly at close. Historically, they're a $400.
They're like $350, $400 company.
And that's per share. If and most people don't know, Boeing is as much within the cyber sector as they
are airplanes.
Exactly. Most people don't know that. And they have Boeing works with NASA. And if you know anything about government and employment, is that when you have a government job, you have security.
Oh yeah.
And that is the equivalent of what I believe that Boeing is. I believe that Boeing is security because they have government contracts until 2050, 2035. Like that's what, if it's 2021, that's
30 years.
That's 3 decades. That's 3 decades of, because
that's 3 decades of business coming in.
That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, what pays for Boeing to have these government contracts? You do. Your tax dollars. I mean, so you're paying for this company to do work. You might as well own them.
Yeah, exactly.
Gill hasn't got on board with me yet, but I was right.
One of these days.
I was right about the silver. Even though I am very surprised that it's taken the drop that it has. Like it got to 30.
It spiked what, Sunday or Saturday night or whatever it was.
Sunday night.
Sunday, yeah.
It spiked Sunday night, and then Monday it was 30, and then yesterday it fell 26. It fell like what, like 4% or something like that.
Something like that.
They just all the bullion dealers did is they just stopped selling.
Yeah, they stopped selling, or they marked their damn prices up too.
But back to the Boeing thing. I mean, hey, I was right about the silver. I wasn't very far ahead of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
What was I? 2 weeks? A month?
Something like that.
A month maybe.
Yeah, you were texting me like a month ago. What? It wasn't even a month ago. 2-3 weeks ago about the silver.
Yep.
Well, all right, let me do my research on this. And about the time I'm still doing research, it's like, oh crap, okay.
And it was that forum that bets
Wall Street Bets or
Wall Street.
Reddit?
Well, it's one and the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's one and the same. It's on Reddit, but it's Wall Street Bets, and I tell you what, they basically are just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're
they just reamed them. They just reamed out them hedge funds.
Mm-hmm. What do you know about any of that stuff?
Hedge funds, from what I understand, they were trying to short GameStop. They were betting on it to more or less go down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The wording on it might be a little shaky coming out of my mouth, but they're betting on it to go down, and then Reddit pretty much gamed their game, bought up all the shares, jacked that price way up, and because they're betting on it to go down, they pretty much couldn't. The hedge funds couldn't get rid of them shares until at whatever point it is that they could, and they ended up losing all that, billions of dollars or something like that.
Right. And to our audience out there, I am a biology student in college, and Gill's a welder. By no means are we financial investors, and by no means should you take our
advice
and put your money into the stock market. Do your own research, make your own moves, and you should be okay. Invest it. Gil, tell the audience, investing isn't a short.
It's not rocket science. It's not a short game. It's not rocket science. You buy a hold, you'll do all right. Mm-hmm. Just do your research. Take your time with it. There ain't no hurries.
How would you suggest a first-time investor? Would you tell them find something that you know, research it, and then when you go to buy, wait 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'd say so. If you research, if you know the company, when you do your research, it's going to be easier to understand. And just, I'm going to go buy XYZ over here and I don't know nothing about. Then you're like, it just don't make no sense. But it's like, say, like 3M. 3M does all sorts of stuff. You get the gist of it, like sticky notes. 3M makes all the sticky notes, all that kind of stuff. They got safety gear. Man, if you understand it, it'd be easier to invest in. And you really ain't got to worry about it too much.
What would you tell you? Because when did you start investing? Let that be.
Probably end of 2018, or it might have been summer of 2018, or late fall, maybe early 2019, somewhere in there.
What would you tell if you could go back and tell yourself before you bought your first stock? What would you tell yourself?
Oh Lord, don't stretch yourself too thin. So what I mean by that is, like, say, don't go out and buy like 10 stocks. Because if you only got like $500 to play with, you ain't gonna have very much money to allocate to 10 different stocks. As where if you can go in and pick, like, let's say 2 or 3 stocks, or you could do like an ETF and a stock, focus your money on there, get it building, and let's say it pays a dividend, you can get those dividends building faster as you're more focused on these handful of stocks instead of like 10, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah. What is the ETF?
It'd be an exchange traded fund, but it's pretty much a group of like stocks that, like, we'll say Vanguard, they'll put together. Like, you can get ETFs and like you can get like the energy sector, or like a consumer staple sector or whatnot, and it'll focus on companies in that sector. The big group of companies, so it's going to be a well-diversified ETF and many different things.
Right. Would you say that what was the biggest mistake that you made? I know you said that you stretched yourself out thin, but what other mistakes, or can you elaborate on what you meant and like what mistakes that you made?
Like, so go back to stretching yourself too thin. Like 2018, 2019 is fresh out of the Marine Corps. I was in welding school at the time. I only have so much income to play with, so you only put like $100-200 in it every month. It's not like you can just go in and just dump a whole bunch of money in the thing. That way, if you take that $100 or $200 a month, you can focus in on like 2 or 3 different stocks, just a little handful. You can take it. If, say you get like AT&T, Johnson & Johnson, 3M, they're gonna pay you dividends. If say you start out $500, you can divide that up relatively even, keep some cash on the sidelines. That way, if it does drop, you got the opportunity to get more bang for your buck. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely, absolutely, it does. Can you explain what is dividends? Like, what are dividends? Why are they paid? And what can they do for you?
So dividends, you own the company and they're going to pay out a dividend. So they earn so much money and they're going to pay it out. Pay out like, say AT&T's like what, 7-8%, something like that. But we could do a whole other podcast explaining this. There's probably all sorts of information online y'all can go out and look at, see more in depth of this. You take that dividend, they'll pay it out, and each share pays out the dividend. You got 50 shares, and it's paying out 8%. We'll say it's like AT&T's what, $2.08 a year. The dividend.
I see. I don't know.
It's something like that. So we'll just say an even $2. Don't quote me on this, people. But just for easy hypothetical, yes. So it's $2. It made math easy. So if it's $2, you can divide that by 4. You'll get 50 cents each quarter. And let's say you got 10 shares, AT&T. You're getting $5 every quarter from AT&T. What you can do from there is take that $5, turn around, reinvest it back into AT&T, and next go around for payout dividend for the next quarter, you're going to get dividends for $5 more on top of your investment. And from there, it snowballs. Once you build up enough, you can start buying a share every quarter, get enough shares, paying enough dividends. From there, it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling.
Right. And even the likes of Warren Buffett have stated that if you could put away $200,000, or if you can invest in $200,000 worth of stocks, and you're able to return about $30,000 a year within dividends, you can retire on that.
Easy.
I mean, the poverty line is below that, but I mean, if you get Social Security, disability, and then a dividend payment on top of that, you're looking at a secure retirement. You know, that what do you think? How much do you think you invest a month, roughly?
Oh, Lord. It's a pretty good chunk of change. So, probably, if I can keep going the way I now, probably about $800-900 a month. If I keep working on the overtime, whatnot, I'd probably get it rolling pretty good.
How much do you, like, what diversification, should I say, do you do when it comes to your investing?
Like, talking like stock wise, or just the whole
portfolio,
the whole thing? So since I'm working, like talking about silver, I'm working on it, bring it up to 60 ounces. That'll bring that out to 7 to 8% of the whole portfolio, including the stock market stuff. So what I got right now is I got Got my energy sector. I got one stock there. Got my one financial stock. Got it covered. Got 2 or 3 different industrial sectors because that's kind of that's what I know. That's the area I worked in.
Mm-hmm.
And you got consumer staples, which you go look in your bathroom. You'll
Right.
see your consumer staples in there.
For example.
You got Procter and Gamble. They make Old Spice, Gillette.
Mm-hmm.
They make all sorts of stuff.
Right. Before this year, you mostly focused on stocks.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really think about what it means to diversify, I personally believe that money, like the U.S. dollar, is not money; it's fiat currency. It's not
It's a piece
backed
of
by
paper.
exactly. It's a piece of paper backed by debt of other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Bonds, and we can do a whole nother segment on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when you're talking tangible money, what I believe and how I invest is
Mm-hmm.
I invest in more silver, precious metals, and golds.
Mm-hmm.
I like for my portfolio to be made up about 25%
Mm-hmm.
of silver, gold, platinum, because I, like Robert Kiyosaki says, for the second time to quote him this episode, is that's God's money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was before any person was ever born. People were using
Silver and gold was in the dirt.
exactly. But when Tyrannosaurus Rex was around eating other little dinosaurs, gold was in the ground.
It was in the dirt,
You
just
know,
waiting.
when before the Earth had water, gold was in the
Gold was
ground,
in the dirt.
and so for thousands of years, um, gold and silver have been used as currencies. So
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't you invest in something that has stood the test of time?
Mm-hmm.
Gold and silver are the Tom Brady of investing, in my opinion. They are the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
They are the most valuable thing that you can invest in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they won't make you any money. And technically, gold isn't even an investment because it's not used for anything other than
Nope.
wealth. Silver, on the other hand, is a commodity. Silver is used in industry. Um,
I mean, solar, batteries, all sorts of stuff like that.
there are
Cell phones.
right. There are a few metals that are as you know as conductive as silver. I
Mm.
don't think they're. It's between silver and copper. Um,
Yeah.
but when it comes to energy transferring, silver has the most that it can transfer, and it loses the least amount of energy through
Mm-hmm.
friction and then the atmosphere and whatever. However, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how it all works,
Yeah.
but you know, I me personally, I'm a, I'm a silver stacker. I'm a silver hound, man. Oh man. And don't get me wrong, I started investing this year. 2021. I have invested roughly $2,000 of between my savings and my income that's come in
Mm-hmm.
that of this year, of the two, like the two I get paid on a monthly basis. Um and half is in the stock market. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I would say 40% is in stock, 15%, 20% is in cash. So, and then 40% is in precious metals.
That ain't bad.
And yeah, and what my portfolio really looks like is I have AT&T, which is a cash cow.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
There, give me a couple seconds.
Um, Go ahead, do your thing. AT&T, which is a cash cow. Coke, which is another cash cow. I mean, everybody uses a cell phone, and I was watching, I was watching My 600-Pound Life, and I tell you what, every time I watch that show, somebody's ordering a Diet Coke. It's not going out anytime soon. The Super Bowl's this weekend. Guess what? There's going to be Coca-Cola ads. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And then I have stock in U.S. Gold and Silver, which is a Canadian-based gold mine, gold and silver mine. They have gold and silver mines in Canada, Nevada, and Mexico. Um, I have U.S. Foods. I have the U.S. Foods Department, which basically gives or provides the food for all the schools. Right now, of course, a lot of schools aren't in session, but it's not going to be like this forever. And those schools will get back in session maybe in the fall, and the U.S. Foods Department is going to through the roof. I expect. I know foods. I'm an avid cook. I'm always at the grocery store. I spend like $450 a month on groceries. Um, and finally, I have a Series XM stock that I got for free through Robinhood. It's definitely been, and then when it comes to Robinhood itself, I have roughly about $1,000 in Robinhood right now, and they're I think it's FDIC insured. So if you have anything less than $250,000 in Robinhood, you're not going to lose out on any money. You're not going to make or break the bank. You're not going to lose anything. You'll get fully refunded if you have less than $250,000. Um, Even though I read this morning that they just that Google didn't up their rating on the App Store. Their rating's at like a 1.1 star because of the debacle that they had last week. And it's Robinhood itself. It's just Robinhood's a mess, and we'll talk about Robinhood on another episode because we're about to wrap this one up.
Yeah, we could talk about Robinhood for a minute if we wanted to.
For a minute. So for some closing statements today for the pilot in our first episode, Gill, what would you like to say to the audience?
Man, I just hope y'all enjoy this stuff. Just listen to us ramble for a little bit. Maybe y'all can get some valuable information out of it. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. What I would say about the Frag Gill radio show and podcast is that I agree. I hope you guys enjoy our content. I hope that you like, you subscribe, you decide that you comment questions, you comment what you want us to talk about. You give us some, hey,
yeah, give us some feedback on how we're doing, what do you want us to talk about, and so on.
Right. Hey, even if request an interview, tell us, come on, we'll give you 15 minutes. You can talk about what you do, what you want to do, just your dreams and aspirations. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk about life. We're here to talk about stocks, and we're here to spread the good news, spread the gospel if that's what you believe in, and we're gonna make something of this, and if we end up making it big, we're gonna give back, and we're gonna give. We're gonna give back to every single person that has helped us along the way. Well, I'm Frag and
Gill,
and thank you for tuning in to the Frag and Gill podcast and radio show. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
Deuces.
Deuces.